Tov Mishpaka Shimi Achas Ya Yisrael Hayam and Ethmatasha Yehuda Tehila Yahweh Ben Yahweh. Good morning, family. My name is Akazi Yisrael, and I exist as the tribe of Yehuda. Praise Yahweh and praise Yahweh Ben Yahweh. Welcome back to the Solar Day, Sabbath Day, Solar Year class. Praise Yahweh. Where we last left off was the definition of note. But before we get back into that, let's stand up, face the east, and offer praise to our most wonderful, our celestial Father, the architect of the universe, Yud-He Waf-He Bet-Nun-Sofi Yud-He Waf-He, Yahweh Ben Yahweh, who is Yahweh in the flesh as the Son. Ooh, praise Yahweh. Let's get it. Tefillah, Ave Nu Sabashamayim, Yikadar Shemeakar, Tavo Maiku Tleakar, Yer Seri Zonkar, Kivashamayim Kain Ba'aretz, Alekum Kukenu, Tain Lanu Hayom, Uslap Lanu, Akartienu, Kimochisokin, Gamanatenu, Ako Tain Lanu, Veal Tefienu, Ladeni Seyon, Kukal Seinu, Minhara, Kilaka, Hamamlaha, Givara, Beteferet, Leolame on the mean Sila. Praise Yahweh. I want to first apologize before we get back in here for the little bit of a break I took this last week. I feel like I was gone for like 7 days. It could have been 8, maybe even 6, but I do apologize. I was doing a lot of overtime in my job and then just de-stressing after work with the video game and stuff like that, and talking to friends. But we are back at it again. We're going to get this knowledge. We're going to get this truth. We're going to march on forward. Praise Yahweh. Now, the note is to notice or observe carefully, and is to record or preserve in writing, to make special mention of or remark on. Praise Yahweh. So we are supposed to make special observation notes and keep it for the Sabbath, meaning what we're doing right now. We've taken the time to notice that there seems to be a shift in our nation, right? Or just amongst our people, period. Some believe that they follow in the Jewish customs, that the Sabbath is Saturday and it doesn't move. But that's the Jewish custom. We're not Jewish. Jewish is a religion. It's not a people. Anybody can be Jewish. And, so it's not that. It's like, it's, Jewish, they try to say it's a religion and the people. It can't be both. You can't just join yourself on to a person and call yourself after them. Eminem is in hip hop. Eminem, it will never be black. You know what I'm saying? But hip hop is black music, right? It's the same thing. He's a white artist that does hip hop, right? So it's just like that. He will never be black. I don't care what nobody say. I don't care how cool he is or whatever. He will never be black. So the fact that you can be a Jewish person and be a part of, and anybody can be Jewish through the religion, makes no sense. It's contradictory, right? So we have to understand that we have to do some investigation upon all of these things that we come across, because that's the only way we can set ourselves apart in showing forth our genuine claim, as well as having the evidence to back it up. So again, we have to notice and observe carefully. Observe means, study. You have to study carefully. Why? Because we have to be able to keep it to our record that the preserves in writing, which makes a special motion or mention and remark on, that the Sabbath rotates. And we're proving that now, right? The tone of this notice or this observation that we must acquire and obtain carefully, the tone of it is the general character, right? Well, what's the general character of the Sabbath? Well, you rest, right, from all work. All work must be done on the 6th day, because the 7th day we all must rest. Okay, what's another general character? Well, we are not supposed to cook on the Sabbath day. Okay, right? You can go within your gates and outside your gates up to like 2,000, I want to say I think it says in the Bible like 2,000 meters. I'll have to find it. But I'll post it in the comments if I don't post it in the video, okay? Right? We have to look at the qualities and the trends and see what kind of frame of mind we're supposed to be in on the Sabbath, right? And again, it's all about bringing change. Well, change is the exchange of one thing for another, and it's to become an altered version. It's to continue a journey, and it's to substitute another or others for usual of the same kind, and to give and take reciprocally, right? Change, again, is to exchange of, it's the exchange of one thing for another to become altered and to continue a journey. So as we go through this life and we're walking through the valleys of the shadows of death, right, called America, because America sits between two bodies of water and makes it a valley in the middle, which is where we live at. And it's darkness down here until that great light comes and shine upon us, right? And it says the people that was walking in darkness have seen that great light, right? And upon them has that light shine. So now you're going through a change, you're going through a shift. And as you're going through a shift, right, it's going to be happening to you in a gradual motion, right? Which is altering you to be able to continue in this thing called life, respectfully and responsibly. Because if you're not responsible for how you carrying yourself and you still choose to walk in darkness, then you're going to be destroyed, right? And the Bible gives us this information, and you're supposed to take and heed the warning and see what you're supposed to be doing. Again, change is the exchange of one thing for another. So that sounds to me right there, that correlates with Psalms 19:7. You're supposed to be converted, right? From being simple to being wise, right? That's a change. Now, the next word is unison. And unison is a process in which all elements behave in the same way at the same time, which would be correlating again with the days of the week, right? Which is, again, they all share the same process, which is what? They all have 24-hour periods, no difference. That's why no days of the week are more special than one. Like the Sabbath day don't give the seventh day 24 hours and 5 seconds. It doesn't give it 25 hours. It doesn't give it a smooth 27. It's the same 24 hours in a day. It's just on the seventh day, that day we call Sabbath. But again, you're not supposed to get off praising a named day, because then you'll get off, right? And that's what happened. And it's messing up our harmonics, right? And the harmonics is the periodic motion whose frequency is a whole number of multiple of the same fundamental frequencies. Now, the periodic is occurring or reoccurring at regular intervals. We already went over intervals, right? And it's consisting of or containing a series of repeated stages. Oh my goodness. Processes or digits in a cyclic motion, right? So again, just part of that tells us that it's a regular interval. So it means it has this regular interval since it was created. It's been a regular interval that the seventh day, the Sabbath day, every day will get its turn to be Sabbath. And in this video, I'm going to have Abba speak on it again. So get ready for that.
A party to lunar time. Pay no attention to new moons. When you learn solar time and go by the solar calendar, you understand that Saturday is not the Sabbath either. What is the Sabbath?
Seventh day.
The seventh day. And when you study solar time, I'm just not going to go through it right now, but when you go through it, you'll understand that every day of the week gets its turn to be Sabbath. In perfect rotations of sevens, to perfection. Forever. Okay, we're looking at the fact that appointed feast is used.
Right? And we are back again, family. Again, so just backtracking of what Abba said, unison is a process in which all elements behave in the same way at the same time. The harmonic is the periodic motion whose frequency is a whole number of multiples of the same fundamental frequency occurring or reoccurring at a regular interval. Again, the Sabbath every day of the week will get its turn to be Sabbath in perfect sevens in a perfect rotation forever. That's just listed all of those definitions right there. Again, proving itself. It's not something that we're trying to force upon you. This is reality. And when you look at this information and you actually listen instead of just clicking through because you want to say you watched something, but when you actually listen to these definitions, it will help you understand and come to the conclusion so that we can reason together that, hey, this rotates. I got to submit to it. It rotates. Right? It has motion. Motion is, again, movement. It's an action, a process, or an instance of changing places. It has motion. It's movement, an action, a process, or an instance of changing places. Cyclic or cyclic is of, relating to, or being a cycle, moving cycles. Again, the definitions that was underneath the seventh all denotes motion, movement, progression, change, altering, writing down, making special observation, right? Looking at this and having a change of mind because our minds was manipulated. That's why in Jeremiah chapter 4, I want to say 23, we were still under the same condition as Genesis chapter 1 verse 2. We were still without form and void. Let's see. Praise Yahweh. This is why. Because you believe everything that your enemy tells you as if he's telling you the truth. Knowing that he is the father of lies. It's so crazy. Right? It is so crazy that we hold on to everything that this man tell us. And it's crazy. Jeremiah chapter 4:23. I beheld the earth, and lo, it was without form and void. In the heavens, right? In the heavens, they had no light. How could this condition be here in Jeremiah thousands of years later? When in Genesis chapter 1 Genesis chapter 1 verse 1 and 2 was where it was first notated. Because this is talking about us in this scripture. Symbolically, prophetically. It's talking about us. We have become a people with formless ability. We have become a people of no light. That means all of our current structure, our foundation have been totally dissolved by that time because we kept following the way of the heathen. We kept taking on their knowledge like they have the most supreme knowledge, which is stupid because we are the original man. But you see, over motion, over time, we forgot this information. Over time, we started to grab hold onto the enemy's knowledge and philosophy as we did in the garden, a repeated cycle, right? Which through time got us from being a people that was formed after Yahweh made his move and walked upon the face of the deep, and he caused mental enlightenment and spiritual guidance and spiritual enlightenment to raise up upon us, to bring us to a level of such high intelligence that over time, as we got further away from Yahweh, we lost more and more and more and more and more. It just ain't just all happened overnight, right? And it's the same thing. So now we're trying to make a change, right? We're making an altered change. We're making altered choices. And we got to be saying now, hey, upon us have that great light shine. I have verified that great light through the scriptures. I have seen his works. And I am going to rejoin myself unto him. So I am going to study to show myself approved. So when I go upon his courtyard and his dwelling, and I say, "Oh Yahweh, being Yahweh, I believe in your word. I believe in your works, for they are verified in the Torah as well as in the New Testament. And I just want to follow you. I want to rule with you. I want to rejoin. I want to be forgiven." And you get these things done because he knows that his spirit is in you. Then guess what? Guess what? You just showed the exchange of one thing for another. You saying, I don't want this earthly stuff. I don't want this carnal mindset. I don't want to be lost in the sauce anymore. I want knowledge, truth, and understanding. So then you change from that thing, and then you become reborn again into another, right? Meaning you're becoming altered. Meaning he is starting to form you again. He is starting to shape you again, right? And it's just like that with the Sabbath day. You know, we lost it. We thought the Sabbath day was Saturday, and then following the Jewish custom, right, of Saturday, and then he brought you precept upon precept. He showed you the change. He altered that way of thinking. But some of us are just stuck. It's just stuck. And I hope this class helps you to gradually move. Even if you watch it a few times and you don't believe it, but a few months go by and you realize, like, man, that guy gave me all the definitions. I'm looking it up a little bit and it's the exact same. Let me just start to change how I view the Sabbath day. And then we can reason together. Look at that. It shows forth the motion, which is, again, movement, which is an act or a process of instance of changing places, right? The Sabbath hath motion. It changes places, right? Now, when we look at day, right, again, from the J.I. Rodale, day is daylight, daytime, full sun, sunlight, 24 hours, mean solar day, feast day, holy day, and jubilee. It is the period, time, age, right? It's the epoch, it's the era, it's the generation, it's the cycle, it's the ascendancy, the greatest strength or influence in its full flowering, right? Now, daylight is understanding the insight into what was formerly obscured and to approach the end of a difficult endeavor. Literally, that's what that means. Whoever would have thought? You would have thought daylight would have just been the sun is out. But we are coming upon the Sabbath day, which was obscured from our thoughts, from our eyes, that it changed, and that the Sabbath day was Saturday, and then in the Constantine of Valentine court, he changed it from Saturday to Sunday, and oh my gosh! But that was a trick. The first thing they did was add the leap months to the calendar when we was underneath the Babylonian captivity, right? To cause us to forget. Then the second thing they did was they put it on pause, and they said, "Oh, it's Saturday. It's Saturday." The third thing they did was, "Oh no, we're gonna change it again, right in your face, from Saturday to Sunday. It's a day of rest." Again, they do it right in your face. It's so crazy. But we had come to formally understand that what was obscure to us, we are now approaching the end, and we have to make a choice, which is a difficult endeavor. People don't like making choices. People don't like making change. Change scares a lot of people. But change must be had. Right? Solar day is the interval between two successive meridian passages of the sun. I mean, again, even the sun have an interval between two successive meridian passage, which is the beginning when it's in its first house, which is the vernal equinox, and its second house, which is the autumn equinox. And then it makes its full rotation, the following year when it's back into the house of the vernal equinox. And that's a solar year. We'll get to that here in a second, even though I just broke it down. But again, everything has forward progression. Everything. Solar time is time based on the rotation of the earth with respect to the sun. Solar time units are slightly longer than sidereal units, and it's due to the continuous movement of the earth along its orbital path. For example, by the time the earth has completed one full rotation on its axis with respect to the fixed stars, it has also moved a short distance in its orbit and is orientated slightly more on its axis to complete a full rotation with respect to the sun. A solar year is the period of time which is required for the earth to make a complete orbit with respect to the sun that's measured from one vernal equinox to the next, and it's equal to 365 days, 5 hours, 48 minutes, 45.51 seconds. A solar year, right? 4 plus 5 is 9, which is completion. And then 5 plus 1 is 6. It took 6 days for Yahweh to create all the things that he wanted to create, and then he rested on the 7th day, right? Look at that. I'm telling you, it's all right here. A solar month, it's 1/12 of a solar year, totaling 30 days, 10 hours, 29 minutes, and 3.8 seconds, right? It's just wonderful. Again, 2 plus 9 is 11. I and my Father are one. 2 ones. They are the same entity. That's John 10:30, right? And again, 3 plus 8, again, it's telling you again, 11 again, 11, 11. Look at that. Twin flames. They are the same unit. Praise Yahweh. Now, when we're looking at, there are 12 months in a year, right? Well, guess what? 12th is Lamed in the Hebrew alphabet, which is the 12th consonant with a value of 30. I find it so funny that there are 12 months in a solar year, right? And each 12 months have 30 days. Well, guess what? Lamed value is 30, right? Isn't that cool? So again, Lamed is the 12th consonant with a value of 30. It's 12 solar months and 30 days. And it's also 12 tribes of Israel. The Son of Man rising on the 3rd day. It also the concept of teaching, guidance, and authority, symbolizing by the shepherd's staff or the ox, good used for direction and stability. And it means to, for, and towards, or into, and also means to learn or teach. So it's to learn, it's to teach, it's moving towards learning, it's moving towards teaching, right? And it's showing us that like the Sabbath rotates, so shall we. As it progresses, so must we. That is not stuck in time, neither can we. We cannot afford to be stuck in time. You have to change. You have to grow. If you always act as a child, you'll be immature. Though we are told to be born again and enter into the gates of heaven as a little child, okay, that's not talking about being immature. That's just talking about having the innocence of a child, right? That's what that's talking about. When I was writing my when I was writing my book on charity, I came across information about Adam. It said Adam was the true man because he had the powers of a man, but he had the innocence of a child. Meaning, in Adam's mindset, in the tribe of Adam, right, in the Adamites' mindsets was no malice. They were beautiful minded people, but they had the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of how the law worked. But they were also innocent minded people. They didn't have any hatred on them. They didn't have any ambiguous feelings or anything like that. So, from looking at the reference, right, 463.20 and 99.19, we'll take a look at the decimal points. Well, that's 20 and 19, right? 20, it is the Resh, and then 19 is Kof. Well, Resh primarily means head, and this signifies the beginning of authority, but it can also represent poverty or evil. So, meaning, seeing how the Bible can be interpreted from the beginning to end and the end to the beginning, then we know that we are at the head of it all, and we're seeing the beginning of the earth being without form, right, without structure, right. We're seeing that now, and that's evil. That's poverty, right? And poverty is the letter. In poverty, since the letter can also mean poor, referring to someone in a state of need or subservience. We are poor. We are poor in character, and we are poor in grade, and we are in desperate need to be saved from the subservient mindset that we have in America. And that's Jeremiah 2:14, where it says, is Israel a homeborn slave? Right? We have become a homeborn slave. We have become a people enslaved in great servitude who needs restoration. Right? It's symbolic. It's the transformation. Even though race can mean wickedness, it also holds the potentialities for a person to return from evil to holiness. The transformation from a lowly state to a positive state due to the position of leadership is key and symbolic meaning of the letter. Now, Kof is the eye of the needle, back to the head, or the back of the head, or monkey. And its meaning in Hebrew culture is holiness, symbolizing a connection to the spiritual realm. Symbolic is the holiness, particularly the sanctuary of God Yahweh, seen as the mark of perfection, which details of the importance of spiritual focus, which interprets the letter shape as the back of the head, which then can be symbolizes looking beyond the physical into the spiritual realm. This is why Satan polluted the Sabbath day and changed it and spread confusion and changed the time and seasons and years by concentrating all of our attention to the lunar calendar and constructing leap years and named both days and months to have people forget the seventh day rotation and the correct time, right? So again, because he understands that, like it says in Exodus 30 and 13, the Sabbath is a sign between us and Yahweh forever. What is a sign? It's a warning. It's an indication. It's a special it's a special gift. It's information. You know, it's very important. It's very important because God's children follow his laws, and Satan knows this. So he does everything in his power to change it and to alter it and to cause you to walk in poverty, because he knows, you know, by us breaking Yahweh's laws, then we will be cursed, right? It's nothing but a game to him. But on that note, we're going to pause it right here. I love you, family. I hope y'all have a wonderful day. If it's cold where you at, please drink you some vitamin C and grape juice or tea, you know, or it's this stuff out there called Emergency, which is like a buttload of vitamin C in a packet, right? You put it in water and you blend it. Please stay healthy, stay vigilant, and stay righteous, you know. If you do what you always done, you'll get what you always got. And if you did bad, you're going to continue to get all bad. But we need to start to make a shift. We need to stop becoming so pathetic in circumstance. And we need to start taking charge and changing and realizing that no one else is coming to get us. Yahweh ben Yahweh is the only one. He is the right one. If you're waiting for Jesus, you're going to be waiting forever in hell. If you're waiting for Yahushua or Yahushua or all these other little funny names, you're going to be waiting in hell. We are in the last days. There is no more time for someone else to try to come back and spend 10, 15, 20 years teaching you the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. There is no one coming out. No, there is no one else coming back under a different name to try to get you salvation. The Son of Man says, I've come in my Father's name and ye receive me not. Right? And if another shall come in his own name, him you shall receive. But you're going to be receiving him and going right to hell. Because he's coming outside the name of God, Yahweh. Yahweh ben Yahweh is the only one, and he is the genuine one. He is the truthful one. It tells us in Revelation 11 verse 8 that the Son of God will be crucified in the land spiritually called Sodom and Egypt. Right? That's in the book of Revelation. Revelation means to reveal something that was hidden from you. Right? In a spiritual place called Sodom and Egypt. And I'll go ahead and post those pictures up of America and Egypt's similarities. Yahweh ben Yahweh is that right one. And I pray that you all understand that little piece of wonderful, great information so that we can reason together. I love you so much, family. Have a good day. Drive safe if you're driving. Walk safe if you're walking. Praise Yahweh.